Now, we get lots of questions on all of our videos, and a lot of them refer to the size of the dog. Will this technique work with my little Chihuahua or my big German Shepherd? And I can tell you that there are fewer differences than there are similarities in terms of how we teach these dogs to walk nicely with us. In today's video, we're going to answer the question, does size matter? And whether our techniques will work for a 6-pound poodle, a 26-pound border collie, or this 126-pound wolfhound. I'm Steve Walsh. Welcome back to Bacanned Dogs. So the easiest way for me to show you that I can use the same techniques for that little poodle as I can for the wolfhound is to do the same drill with each of them. But to make it hard, I'm going to get some really great distractions to really test their skill and show them how to be right. So check out these distractions. A whole bunch of really fun toys, a whole plate of hot dogs out of the package. Who doesn't love bacon jerky and an apple? Which doesn't seem like much, but my wolfhound really loves apples. You've seen us work these 3 dogs before. This little poodle's been in some videos, and those other 2 dogs have been in some videos as well. The biggest thing to keep in mind is our expectation, no matter what we're working on, is the same, whether it's this little dog or that big giant dog. But we're also keeping in mind the dog's skill level and continuing to help them to make great choices. So I've set up a challenge for you guys that whether it's this big Irish wolfhound or this little poodle, I can show you that no matter the size of the dog, if you have consistent expectations and use the same techniques, you can teach them not to pull on the leash. So I'm going to spread these toys out a little bit so I have a little bit of room to work, which gives me some distance to work with, but also makes the distractions really visible to the dogs. So I'll put a big pile of toys there. I'll get my plate of hot dogs. Put those down right up front. Those are delicious. Bacon, of course, off to the side over here. And let's not forget the apple. Let's put this right up here as well. So I've got lots of room to work, lots of things to catch the dog's interest. Now there's a couple of ways that I walk my dog. One is a little bit more casually, where my dogs can be anywhere around me. Their only job is to not pull on the leash, and we call that leash respect. And if you haven't seen the video that we did on leash respect, click the link in the description below. So now I'm just going to move a couple of steps at a time, casually moving a little bit closer to these distractions and a little bit further away. Now if I take a couple of steps and I pause and she pauses with me, by all means I am going to yes and reward that. But if these distractions are a little too much and she decides to pull on the leash, I'm simply going to face her and at her head level add some pulses on the leash until she checks back in with me. Now, one of the challenges of having a giant breed is getting those distractions a little bit more in her face. So I've just taken a second to lift these up a little higher so they're a little bit more interesting to her, because I'm hoping I can show you how to work through it when she maybe makes not the greatest choice. So here's what it's gonna look like. Again, with me, a couple of steps and pause. Good girl, excellent job. Now, I'm gonna tell her with me and I'm gonna back away, because this also tells me how committed is she actually to me. If I'd backed away and she was still looking at those treats, it really tells me she's not that committed. She's very committed now, so I'm gonna make it harder. Again, with me, a couple of steps. Girl. Oh yes, good choice. Excellent girl. I'm gonna yes and reward that. Very good. I might take a couple more steps. Yes, good girl. With me. Excellent job. Let's go over here. With me. Good girl. Good with me. Whoops, with me. I got you, I did. All right, so I backed away there. She didn't move. She was fixated on the apples. I told you she loved apples. No big deal. I simply faced her, added some pulses on the leash until she reconnected with me, and then I backed away. And I backed away in a manner that encouraged her to move with me and was pretty engaging for her. And you'll notice she kind of picked up her pace as she moved towards me. This is what's teaching her that it's more valuable to stay with me. So I'm gonna try that exact distraction again. Okay, with me. Good girl. Couple of steps and pause. Yes, good girl, excellent job, very nice. So that time, instead of staring longingly at the apples, I paused, she looked at the apples, looked right at me. Perfect yes and reward. What does it look like now with this 26-pound border collie? Well, it's gonna look the same. I'm gonna use the same principles. Good, again, I don't care where she is around me, she just has to not pull on the leash. Good girl, excellent choice. Good, see if I can make it harder. I caught you, yeah, I did. Jet, yes, good girl, excellent job. So, I threw those on the ground. She went, wait a second, I really want those. And I started to back away and she went, no, I'm gonna stay at those. I paused for just a second to add those pulses to get her reconnected with me. And that's important. What I didn't do was just pull her away from those things. I used those pulses on the leash to get her connected to me, started to praise her. But then she actually looked back at those treats. That's okay. I actually said her name at that point to get her refocused on me. Then we had some fun. Now I'm gonna go try that exact same thing with that same distraction and see what kind of decision she makes. Okay, with me. Good girl. Excellent job. Good girl. Yes, good. Very good. With me. Yes, good girl. Excellent job. So you'll notice I was making those really good girl, really visible to her. She's having a little debate in her head right now whether she should pull on the leash or not. She's making great decisions. Good girl. So what does it look like with this cute little poodle now? Well, it's going to look the same. My goal and expectations are exactly the same. Now with a little dog like this, I could easily just tighten up on the leash and pull her away, but that's not really helping her understand that she shouldn't pull on the leash. So let's see what it looks like. Yes, good girl. Excellent job. Very nice. Good. I'm going to move a little closer to these ones. See what she thinks of the apple. With me. Good girl. Yes, good girl, Hip. Excellent girl. Good job. Now let's try it with these hot dogs here. Yes, good girl. This way, with me. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Excellent choices. So you notice she actually avoided those hot dogs. I'm going to try and make it a little harder for her. With me, girl. I got you. Yeah, I did. Very good girl. So again, I put that hot dog on the floor and she paused for a second and thought, maybe I should hang out here. I bent down to her head level, added a little bump on the leash. As soon as she turned, we had a little fun and a little party, and she's very excited by that exciting tone in my voice. So we'll try it again now with that hot dog. With me, girl. Yes, good girl. With me. Yes, good girl. Excellent job. Very nice. With me. Good. With me, Hip. Good girl. Yes, good girl. What a good puppy dog. Hooray. So again, you saw right there, she made a conscious choice. She looked at that hot dog, looked right back at me. That is the perfect... Oh, I caught you again. She's making some great choices and really trying to work out in her head. Hi, Hip. Here's my girl. What she should do. And her only job right now... Where'd you go, good? Is to not pull on the leash. Even though today we put down some really tough distractions and they struggle with those, our follow through made it easy for them to be right every single time, no matter what the size of the dog was. If you want to learn more about that skill we call leash respect, click that video right there. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We publish new videos every week to help you to have a well-behaved four-legged family member. And with that, I'm Steve. This is Sky. This is Hippie Shake. Happy training.